Whoops, let me unmute. Hello, my name is Kelli McGowan, and I used to do YouTube talks all the time, but I stopped mostly because I really want to deeply study and deeply get the training that I've been getting for the last decade or longer. And I've been just gathering information and energy that really, really heals all diseases. And not just the surface changes, but really this real essence and deep training of Zhineng Qigong. So I hardly do talks. Once in a while I do one for Patricia at the Healing ALS group. And other than that, I just stick to my small little, I'm not trying to promote a business or make make teachings really available to a general public at this time. But if a few people happen to hear about it and want to come and join us, we're really a small group that's really creating miracles and really training. And during my talk with Patricia, there were a couple of things that I forgot to mention, or I didn't forget, there wasn't enough time. And so I kept getting a message that it's time to bring this to YouTube again. So I just listened to this high level where I'll get more energy by doing this instead of deplete my energy. So wanted to just share a few of the things that were important, that could have been really useful and that are useful. And I think whoever this reaches, it's going to be perfect. And a couple of the things, you can go listen to the talk, healingals.org. She has several of my talks there. The most recent one about how I've transformed the kidneys, and last year or the year before, and lots of other things have changed. In spite of having a severe e-bike accident last January that blasted me, broke my shoulder in 3 places and ribs, and tore the rotator cuff, full tear, hanging on by 2 fibers, that kind of thing, bad accident. But they still observed how much I've improved even since last January, and I wasn't able to move anything. I was actually at a 45-degree angle in my bed for about 5 months. I turned on my Zoom and organized the classes, but I could barely practice. But I did all the practicing in my mind and my heart. And during the whole snowball of all the medical stuff, I ended up at a rheumatologist at Kaiser, and she looked at me and she said, Jesus, with your all your medical history, you should be dead. And she said, I could really help you, give you a prescription for your symptoms, but they're just going to put a Band-Aid. They're just going to mask, whatever your symptoms are. And whatever you're doing, you should be teaching it here. And I did teach at Kaiser in San Rafael with another friend called Bianca Mollet, who cured her Parkinson's. And I thought, okay, I feel like I'm almost ready, to go back into the world, maybe next year or the year after, and I'm really bringing this teaching to the public. And because at the same time, through the accident and all the other injuries, I had to deal with having brain scans and neurology and neck scans and all this stuff, and I have cured the neck to the point where when I first started, I could barely hold my head up, and it was just so excruciating, the pain all the time from the FTD, and that pain is minimal compared to before, and I'm getting deeper and deeper in there all the time with the teachings. Just a miracle. Just love it. Every day is better. And so I was seeing the neurologist at Kaiser here in Hawaii, and he said, I really feel like we could change your diagnosis. So I'm probably going to go back next year or the year after. I don't feel completely ready yet. Because when I get involved with the medical industry, it's a really not a good paradigm for me. I really don't do well with their information. and their limited belief system. But I think a few doctors are really opening up, because this one rheumatologist that I just saw said, you should be teaching this. And before, the doctors in California always said there's nothing you could do to reverse this. And he's saying, I can see, the neurologist saying, I can see that we can change your diagnosis. So I just wanted to bring good news. I'm just going to make a short, sweet little YouTube here, but it all starts with getting yourself out of the illness information. And, the old thinking and the old patterns, and a lot of people, especially ALS, seem to love to talk about their symptoms and their disease. And that is not the paradigm that I have seen people heal under. The paradigm that I've seen people heal under, and I'll give you the good medicine factory right now, is to really know, and to really know, and to really know, like to have acceptance. Okay, whatever they say. But is that true? Is that really, really true? Is that my truth? And to really know, if I believe them, I'm going to end up with that. But if I know that right now everything is perfect, and this is my perfect path where I wouldn't be in it, like total acceptance that, boom, maybe I will die tomorrow. Maybe we all will. Like to really be with my true self and allow whatever's happening to happening. But my mind state is healthy. My mind state is in love and inside joy, inside this huge universe, and in the chi field. Then I'm a match for the chi field. The chi field can come, and energy can come in and move and heal everything. So it really, really starts with getting dominion over the thoughts and recognizing if my heart's beating fast, or if I'm in tension, or if I'm in the problem, if I'm carrying this treasured tragedies of my problems, I'm going to have more problems, because that's, positive ions connect to positive ions and negative ions to negative. And so if I can go from the old way of thinking, or the ego's way of thinking, where I always see people carrying this big backpack of treasured tragedies, or really romancing their physical problems, like talking about fasciculations and things like that. Like you romance the illness information when you spiral and you keep getting sick. And those of us that transform it, for example, I haven't had a tremor or fasciculation since 2020. And that was my last bit of tremors. And I used to get them all over the place, but in particular, this arm. And they would freak me out, and I would see the chair, Stephen Hawkins and the wheelchair. And because I was diagnosed with the double winner of BV, FTD, and ALS. So I had I didn't get the final diagnosis on the ALS, but I had, it was either going to be Parkinson's or ALS when I went to the last appointment, and they said, well, the fasciculations wouldn't be Parkinson's. So I didn't go back for the final appointment. That was enough. I didn't need to hear any more. I don't need their information. So I just grabbed onto the chi field and the potential that I could easily change this, and I'm not agreeing with it. I'm not agreeing with ALS. I'm not agreeing with FTD. And I'm not agreeing with this, there's nothing you could do to slow it down or stop it. And I'm agreeing with absolutely, it's okay either way, but everything is already good, and everything, just surrendering into this, whatever it is, who I am, what I am inside is this benevolent energy, and connecting to this trusting and sure that everything is good, so sure that everything is good. And so when I would get the fasciculation, I'd just say, oh, your energy moving right down to my fingertips. Thank you for showing me. And, I love you. I love you. And I transformed my reactive mode and my reference framework to everything, and I still do continuously, deep, deep, deep in the training and the practice, because it's one thing to know this stuff, but it's another thing to do a daily practice. So Zhineng Qigong really, you gather energy and you do movements, and that's the beginning where you move the energy and you start to get energy to actually heal. That's like one part of it. But it's an entirety system. It's a huanyan. This means all facets of the diamond, like we handle it all, and it takes time. But it's lovely, and it works, and it's real healing, and it works on all conditions and all scenarios if people really do it. So I'm super grounded, but I'm also really can see a future where I can bring this to the masses, because I've been developing it for myself, and my old pattern was to just bring everything to the masses and consume. So I'm still not ready. I still have, I'm nurturing and nourishing myself inside before I go full throttle. But I do work deeply with teachers, and what I can offer is that people can work with me and I can make it make sense. I volunteer that part, but we all pay tuition to the teachers for the material that we're studying, and it's just a beautiful journey. And healing is just a side effect. Like my whole family, my relationships, even in my mind, I feel so connected and so loving and so at peace unconditionally, whether people are pissed off or whether people have a limited belief system or whatever. I can just really stay with this infinite energy and source information, and that it's already good. So I'm always about forgiveness and cleaning up the past and making amends, and all of the background that creates things to harmonize. And if it's not possible in physical form, it's definitely possible in mental form, where we can bring the harmony state and the true self background and the real Zhineng Qigong Qi field, where this energy, it can't come to you unless you're in this high level information state. So by listening to the body and whatever the body's telling, so if you have tension or heart's beating fast or confusion or anger or any of those things, the body is telling us. And this is where the real practice is. So it's one thing to practice the movements of Zhineng Qigong. They're so powerful and they heal in and of themselves. But the real healing is happening. For example, right now we've got all this stuff going on with Epstein and politicians and the deep subconscious layers of our human psyche. And for us to get into a place where our reactive mode and reference framework, just like when you get diagnosed, you can say this is wrong and I'm a victim, or you can look at it and you can say this is my perfect path or I wouldn't be on it. And this is my opportunity and my part to clean the subconscious layers for all humans, for all nature, for all world, for all the whole universes of universes. So every time we think about perpetrators of heinous things, even things that we've done that have been heinous, it's all the same. It's either love or it's not. It's either the entirety state of the Huanyan Ling, which is the pure original information, or it's chaos. And so every second is a moment to merge with the vast, infinite universe and real trust and real love, and be sure that everything can be transformed and be sure that it's already good. And from there, we can unite together in this Ling Yan Qi field, in this Ling Qi, and we're in a state where we can receive it more and more and more. So this is just a little bit of a catch up on the rest of my talk for Patricia, that I felt like it'd be really powerful for people to hear you know, that these doctors recently are saying these things when all the years I was being studied at Kaiser and UCSF and sent for second opinions to this brain thing at division in where was it, Daly City, with a big brain specialist. You know, all of them said that there's absolutely nothing you could do to reverse it, and I actually have. And I'm not cocky. I'm definitely on a journey, but I'm better and better every day, and everyone can see it and everyone knows it. So I just am really honored to share this gentle vibration, this gentle invitation, I guess, to be open and go in a totally different direction, to change what you're thinking and how you're holding your situation, and open and trust and allow and employ deeply, continuously, every thought, these types of teachings. So for now, wishing you a harmonious world inside, and everything else can reorganize from there. Much, much love. See you soon. How la means it's already good. How la.